Hey, retailers, welcome to this week's live workshop. And today we're going to be talking about building a highly engaged team. And the name of this workshop is the Team Builder Formula Workshop. So, this workshop has a worksheet associated with it. So, if you want a copy of the worksheet, just pop the word worksheet below, and myself and one of the team will get it out to you. Also, if you're watching this live, I'd love it if you could pop the word live, or if you're watching the replay, pop the word replay. It really helps me know when the best time to do these videos are. And yeah, if you have any questions, pop them in the comment section below, or send me a DM, and we can go through it. My main intention from this workshop is to give you some strategies, and there's going to be a lot of strategies that you will get here that you can implement in your retail business, and within the next 7 days. So that's my intention, and hopefully, no, not hopefully, if you implement these strategies, you'll start to see some immediate results. So let me rock and roll into the presentation. Let me just make sure everything loads up. Awesome. So the team builder formula for retailers. Let's rock and roll. So the main problem that we have as retail business owners is many of us really don't have a highly engaging team. Many of us have team members who have just sort of joined us in this journey, perhaps usually most of the time on a whim, right? We've got a team in place, we're running our retail business, and all of a sudden one person leaves and we quickly have to fill that position. And when we quickly fill a position like that, we're always acting on a rebound manner, like we're not actually anticipating the problem. And more often than not, we second guess the situation and just get any old person in who can work the register or who can be on the retail floor. So that's one of the big issues, is that we really don't have a process for hiring. The second thing is, I don't know about you, but when I was running my retail businesses, my pharmacies, nobody taught me how to actually put together a team. Like, we get into business because hopefully we want to create some sort of lifestyle for ourselves, or we've got a passion about a particular product or service, but no one really teaches us how to run a business, right? So that's one of the keys. And there were so many different organizations. In big organizations, there were whole human resource departments that are really allocated to developing a team and making sure there's team cohesion. But us as single entrepreneurs, retail business owners running a small to medium sized business, we yet don't have the luxury of a human resources department. So we've got to do everything ourselves, and I get it. And we may have read a few books on how to put together a team. Intrinsically, I reckon we know that we need a team, but we just haven't been taught how to do it. And so the problem is we're going to have this team that is subperforming and not really helping us reach our goals, and the reliance on us as the retail business owner is a lot higher than it needs to be. And so, like I mentioned, the cause of this is basically because we haven't been taught about this, and we just don't really know how to develop a team. And sure, many of us can read a few books, but when it comes to putting into practice, it can get really, really frustrating, because there's not everything that's listed in the book that we can implement on the retail floor. And also, those books and other courses that we do can make it really, really complicated. So what I want to do is distill it in a very simple fashion. Um, so yeah, so what I want to do is distill this in a really simple fashion and make sure that we can start to really develop a world class rock star team. So if we get this right, we are gonna have a team that is firing on all cylinders. So what does that mean, right? We're gonna have a team that's highly engaged, that is gonna come to work on time, is gonna be at their shift. They're gonna be highly productive during their shifts. You're gonna have an engaged team where you can start to outsource some of the tasks that you're doing eventually to them. So all those mundane tasks, that you're doing at the moment. For instance, you might be doing the rostering, you might be doing some other human resource management, the ordering, all those things you should be offloading to your team. And you're probably reserved in doing that because you think your team aren't capable of doing it. And yeah, I agree that your team are probably not capable of doing it yet, but these are the things that we want to start to get your team to do. And it's really challenging in the beginning for retail business owners to let go of these tasks to give to their team. So once we get it right, we're going to be able to outsource a lot of our tasks to them, get away from doing all this day-to-day stuff. And this is also a really big thing for many of us in our retail business. We consider ourselves as the number one salesperson on the floor. And we are the only people that can make sales in our business supposedly and get all the big sale numbers in. And that's a real issue. If we get this piece right with our team engagement, the business no longer has to rely on us, because wouldn't it be great, and this is the whole idea, is that we may ensure that our business functions, runs, grows without us, so we're not the limiting aspect of our business. So that means we could go away for an extended holiday. We can start to work on other aspects of our business, and sales in the shop do not decline. So this is the other thing that's really important. You know, the other aspect of getting it right, and this I experienced this a lot with my retail team in the pharmacy days. You just have to create a much better environment. Your team want to come to work. Your team are happy to be in the pharmacy. Your clients and customers recognize this. They can feel the vibe in the pharmacy. Sorry, in your retail business, and it just becomes a more pleasant place to work. Right? You get rid of all the bitchiness, all the other issues that can happen in your retail business, and you start to develop this culture within your retail team, and it becomes highly more engaged. And then the next amazing thing that happens once you get this right, your hiring woes actually go out the door, because now everyone hears about this amazing place that you've created to come to work. And you naturally attract the right talent, and you naturally attract the right people who actually want to be in your business, who want to serve your clients and customers. And that's when this gets really juicy and makes it so much more fun for you as the retail business owner to be growing your business. And then that's how we get to the next level of growth, because we can only go so far using us as the bottleneck, the retail business owner. We need to make sure that we develop our team, give them ownership of the business, and they take it to the next level. And then from there, once other people start to hear about this, other potential team members, then you can start to bring people on, and then just multiply, and your business grows exponentially. So that's what I mean when you get this right in your business. So um, yeah, not much to say there. More to say. So just remember, 8 minutes in. If you want to copy the worksheet, just pop the word worksheet below. We'll get it out to you. Any questions so far, just pop them into the comments. Any feedback so far, pop them in, and yeah, that'd be good to know. So let's roll into what we need to do. Right. So this is what we need to do. And these are the things which I encourage you to do over the next 7 days. You may not, think about these over the next 7 days. You may not be able to implement all of them, but you've got enough juicy material here that you can start to implement. So you can start stepping on this ladder and having a far more engaged team. So first thing you need to do, you need to make it really easy for your team, right? So what does that mean? You need to ensure that you have key performance indicators for your retail team members. So we've spoken about key performance indicators before for the whole shop, but it's really important that we have individual position key performance indicators. And so KPIs are, we can keep it really basic if you haven't worked with KPIs before. And that's, I think the easiest thing to do is sales targets. And giving your team members individual sales targets is a surefire way to build engagement with your team and have a rock star team. So what happens is, when you start to give your team members KPIs, it gives them ownership, it gives them something to strive for. It's a natural human element to try and achieve something. And many of us might be thinking, but my team members aren't like this. I don't have really people that would embrace this concept of key performance indicators. For that, I say that's great. You don't want these people in your business. This is a great way to filter out all the non-performers in your business. But then you're thinking, oh no, I have to hire more people. Yes, that's going to be a good thing, because you really don't want team members, retail team members, who are going to drag your business down, who aren't going to play ball with you, who aren't going to embrace the concept. This happened to me in my pharmacy businesses earlier on. I was really scared about this concept of sales, and really scared that my team members wouldn't embrace it. And certainly there were team members that didn't. It was just too hard for them. They didn't want to gamify the process, and they eventually left, and I replaced them with people who who were there, who wanted to sell, who enjoyed this process. And believe it or not, there were many existing team members who actually enjoyed this process, because like I said, we're starting to gamify the process. So we need to make sure that we have position KPIs. The third thing you need to do to ensure that you have team engagement is you need to start to do a daily huddle. So this is a concept that was that's I got taught very early on, and a daily huddle is fantastic. What it does is brings everybody together once a day at least. You can do it at the beginning of the shift, so whenever everybody starts their shift, just have one huddle. Hopefully, you have a retail manager. If not, then you're conducting the huddle. And a huddle is basically just a really exactly how a huddle is really how you see in the football teams. It's a really quick 5-minute session, basically celebrating our wins, what we want to achieve for the day, any highlights for the day, just really just coming together. And it's a great way to get your team engaged. And a huddle can be so many things. Obviously, with my clients, I show you exactly what to do in a huddle. But if you think about the concept of just getting everybody together, perhaps going through your wins for the previous day, and today, what are the major things that we need to do? It's a really, really fantastic way to bring your team together, and just increase the output, because in that huddle, uh, you're going to increase the communication. There are specific ways to run a huddle. Obviously, I go through it with my clients, but one of the big tips there is the huddle is definitely led by you, but you throw it onto your team so that they can continue with the huddle and really provide all the resources and the engagement from themselves, right? So this is one of the strategies of a huddle. But I will. That's when we work together, we can go through the ins and outs of a huddle. All right. Customer service training. Now, really, really important. May seem pretty basic, right? As retail business owners, surely we need to have some customer service training. But the major mistake that we make as retail business owners is we assume that our team have customer service training. And that's a really, really bad assumption, because your team have learned, more than likely, have not learned customer service training. And it's really important that us as retail business owners, we set the benchmark on what we consider to be proper customer service. And we need to ensure that we train our team. So customer service training is really important. One of the other backlashes I get from retail business owners, is that they don't have the time, but they don't know how to conduct these things. So you really need to figure that aspect out and really invest in your team. That's the other thing that retailers tell me, is like, they don't want to spend the money to do customer service training. Perhaps it's going to be after hours. You have to pay your team. You may have to get in an outside company to train your team. If you work with us, we show you the ins and outs of how to do that very, very easily. But yeah, customer service training, super, super important. That's what you need to do. Along with customer service training is sales training, right? So, how many of us have actually been taught how to sell? Not very many. And I think it's really important that if you don't know how to sell, then we need to get taught how to sell. I think everybody needs ongoing training. Even the best salespeople in the world are always updating their sales skills. And, the same pushback I get here from other retail business owners is that I can't afford to do sales training. I don't know how to train my team in sales. Well, I think all of us, all retailers, are actually overcomplicating the process. But you need to figure out what what sales training means to you and your organization and your team and for yourself, and how you can go about implementing it, because it's so important to have proper sales training. All right, and now we come on to the aspect of reviews, and so this is one aspect that scares a lot of retail business owners, right? This is part of the whole HR concept that I was talking about earlier on, that we don't actually have the luxury of a HR department as yet. But reviews are really important, because this is how you build engagement with your team. This is how you build engagement with one-on-one with your individual retail team players, right? And a review is just that, it's not something bad, and in fact it's actually feedback that you can give to your team members. And believe it or not, your team members, really, the really good ones, they all really want feedback. They want to know how they're going. And so this is a great way to sit down with your team member and understand how they're going, how you can help them do their job better. And you know what, it's just a simple act of the conversation, that you sit down with them and you can start to do these reviews, is so important. Obviously, there is a whole process to conduct a review. We do that with our clients, but needless to say, just start that act of really sitting down and conducting reviews. It's really, it really boggles my mind how, as retail business owners, we forget this missing piece, right? We expect our team to do all these things, but if we don't provide them with feedback regularly in the form of a review, there's no way that our team members can correct and self-correct and do good for us. And what that means is, they're just going to be doing so much better for the business. And for us, it's just going to decrease our frustration. We're not going to be so frustrated with our team members on why they're doing the things that they're doing and why they're not doing the things that they're doing. So, you know, really easy. You need to set up a system in place to do regular reviews with your team members. Cool. So the last part of making sure you have an engaging team is to actually hire rock stars. So this is part of the hiring process. You need to ensure that you have people on your team who are just going to be amazing. And yes, there is this limiting belief that you can't find these amazing people. And really, I challenge you, because the process of hiring is an art, and it's something that we always need to be doing. And we definitely need a system in place on how to hire our people. This is something that nobody teaches us, right? So we just assume we can put an ad and just put a generic ad in the newspaper or online and attract the right person. But we actually need a system in place to filter out people, to ensure that they are the right fit for our business. And not only that, they are the right fit for the position that we're hiring for. So that's really important. So that's the part about hiring rock stars. 18 minutes in, I've got to land this puppy. I got to land this ship. Just remember, if you want a copy of the worksheet, just pop the word worksheet below, and I can send all this out to you. Okay, so we're almost finished. So in summary, to hit home runs in our business, in our retail business, and have a highly engaging team, it all boils down to better communication and to have better systems in place so that we can communicate with our team. So then they have better clarity. They actually know what they're doing. They know what's happening in the store. They know exactly what's expected of them. They actually know what they need to do to serve your customers and serve your clients and solve their problems, and thereby increasing your profitability and increasing your cash flow. What this also does is, the processes that I've spoken about previously gives greater accountability to your team members. And that's so important, because only when they're accountable, then they're going to improve their performance. Because if you're not accountable, they can just run around the yard, so to speak, without any implications, right? And all of that, like I said, will just increase your profitability, increase your cash flow. You're going to have more money in the bank. And you're actually, once you start to have a high performing team like this, then you can actually start to take a step back, start to work on the business, really start to delegate all those tasks that are holding you back, and you can start to really move towards the next level of business growth. And then you can start to do fun things like start to run your business while you're on holidays really, really easy, because you've got the confidence to know that your team are not only looking after your customers, solving their problems, but they're also maintaining the everyday operations of your business. And this is when it gets really exciting. They're actually driving your business forward, they're driving profitability, and they are driving cash flow. Cool. All right. So that's the end of that. So I hope you found that useful. Like I said, you want to copy the worksheet, pop the word worksheet below. If you have any feedback for me, put that in the comment section below. And until next Thursday, much love, and we'll speak to you later. Ciao.